welcome to Mind Your Business, a channel where we are in everybody's business. If you don't mind getting in people's business, you're on the right channel. Talking about current topics and gossip. Well, it's all come to an end now, people. I will miss this season for sure because it has definitely been chaotic, to say the least. Like, Ellie, oh my God. And Jono, like, what the actual fudge. Tori and Jack still being together was like, wow, let's talk about people. Welcome, people. My name is Crew. Let's talk about Married at First Sight Australia. And yes, the season has come to an end. I've just finished catching up with the final show with the experts. Obviously, we've had the reunion dinner where Ellie popped up with Jono. I was just not impressed by their behaviour because based on what we were shown, it looked like Ellie walked in, Jono walked in, they blatantly ignored Lauren. And I was just like, wow, this is absolutely ridiculous. This is while Lauren's over there saying, well, he said there's nothing to it, so maybe, you know, I can't really see them being together. And then, you know, in good TV fashion, they walk in together. But yeah, I thought she was absolutely rude. I felt sorry for Ellie in the past, particularly with the whole situation with Ben. But now I'm like, I take that back. I take that all back. Based on the way you've behaved, you had no empathy for Lauren. As a woman, I thought it was extremely distasteful, very cold-hearted, bitchy vibes that she was giving off. I was just like, she's just giving off trash bag vibes. I'm sorry. Because I thought Ellie was a decent person. And watching the show, I was like, oh, you know, the way Ben treated her was really bad. But then seeing her, you know, having this text messaging conversations with Jono, Jono trying to downplay it and say that, you know, there's nothing to it. And he's trying to gaslight Lauren. You've exchanged over 100 messages with each other. Like, what the hell? What are you talking about? He's a conk in his head. I was like, what is this nonsense? What is this? He displayed a really disgraceful attitude, a lack of care for poor Lauren, because we know Lauren is mouthy. Yes, she can be annoying sometimes, but for me, I've always enjoyed Lauren because on the show she says what needs to be said. Her and Tim, you know, at dinner time, we know that she's going to get it going, but you could tell that she was hurt because she was so quiet at dinner. She was like, you could see she looked emotional, she was tearing up. Then you've got, you know, Ellie saying, are you hurt? Well, are you dumb? Are you dumb? Like, are you stupid? Like, what sort of question is this? And then for her to be sitting there saying, oh, I'm so happy with him. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. I'm happy. It's like, do you care that someone's across from you that has a heart? Like, it's ridiculous. At least, like, Lucinda and I believe Tim spoke up as well and said, well, you know, she has got feelings. Like, both of them said it at separate times. But I felt like the whole table was pretty much shocked by the whole behaviour that they were displaying. Jono, I just felt like he's giving off very cold, monotone vibes. We know that, you know, they were getting onto a better trajectory. You know, we know that Lauren definitely gave him a hard time at certain points, but at certain points I can see why, because he does seem very monotone and very boring. So I feel like he suits Ellie in that respect. And I feel like Lauren did get to dodge a bullet and now she can find somebody that's more on her vibe. But the way they handled it was really disgusting. Like Lauren said, she didn't have an issue with Ellie at first. But the fact that Ellie made a point of ignoring her was extremely distasteful. And then for you to just be sitting over there trying to gloat, it's very petty. Jono is just dickhead to me. I just thought, look at you. You know, he's just smirking like a little devil, just goading her to me, or just rubbing the salt in her wounds. And then when he tried to gaslight her, where she said that, you know, of course she's hurt. She's like, well, she's not upset. And she was being rude to people around him, saying, why are you feeling sorry for her? Don't buy it, don't buy it. You know, she's just being fake. It's just like, gosh, what kind of sociopath are you? Like, do you not have any emotions, any empathy? Like, what was going on there? So, yeah, I found it really disappointing. We didn't have Cassandra there to pull him up, or Ellie up at the time, because, you know, Cassandra's also someone who speaks out. But, yeah, it was highly disappointing. And then what I thought was really ridiculous is that Jono made the point of deflecting everything onto Sarah when Sarah was trying to check him about, you know, him being in communication and having intent for Ellie, which we know he had intent. He'd been saying that she's beautiful from day. If you clock the show, I remember them being at the dinner table and him saying to Ben, oh, she's beautiful, like, what is your problem? And he said it a few times. So I was really looking like, I feel like he likes Ellie. And then to hear Ben at the table say, well, actually, Ellie did say that she thinks that, you know, Jono fancies her, basically. So I'm like, therefore, both of you know what's going on. So all this bullshit about, oh, there's nothing going on. It wasn't until after this and after that. And, you know, it's just a bunch of bullshit. I was just like, you lot be accountable. And don't be sitting across from the girl, kissing up and being disrespectful. It was awful to watch. And then when he deflected onto Sarah and said, well, you're the one who's cheated, the only one who's cheated on here is you, obviously them two took the bait, and then he threw Tim under the bus by saying, well, Tim said that if he could do it over, maybe if he had more time, he might not have even gone through the whole, marrying her. So then she's gone off on one. And, he got what he wanted. Him and Ellie were sitting there smirking the whole time at that whole situation. Really, really weird behaviour. Also, what I thought was really distasteful was Jono and Ellie being really shady and bitchy about, their partners. Because you've got them saying, you had to kiss a toad and Jono had to slay a dragon. It's just like, what's with all the name calling? Like, what is going on? And then speaking of name calling, Ellie at the table, when she said, I left the experiment like 5 weeks ago, you effing bitch, which looked like it was at Lauren. But apparently she's come out to say that it wasn't aimed at Lauren, it was actually aimed at Sarah, and they have editing to blame. So we'll get into editing in a moment. But yeah, the dinner itself to me was complete carnage. It was a complete shit show, but definitely entertaining. But I was shocked. My thoughts were like, Jono, you're a dirty disgrace, and Ellie, you're a cold-hearted bitch. Like, seriously, I didn't think she could be like that. I just felt like they just showed a really nasty side of themselves. So, of course, I'm nosy. I've been digging to see what else has been going on, and I've been seeing that, obviously, they are still together, Jono and Ellie. But I've seen that she was saying that, it was really bad editing. Both of them have blamed editing, and said that when she said, you're an effing bitch, that was at Sarah, because apparently Sarah was quite going at her, saying that she's just doing all this for attention. So we didn't see that. And apparently it wasn't necessarily in order. So they felt like it was really edited quite badly to make it seem a bit more dramatical. Ellie and Jono also said that apparently the production knew that them two were together, but told them not to tell anybody. So essentially swore them to secrecy, to not tell anybody that they're together, so that they could make the whole, grand entrance, which I get that from a production perspective. They want a bit of drama. Tori and Jack got off lightly at this dinner party. There was no major issues there, really. They were all just kind of taken in. They're still together, of course, and everyone was quite surprised that they were still together, including the experts. But, if that's what Tori wants for herself, then good luck to the both of them. Now, what I did think was interesting was by the end of the dinner party, the couples together were clearly, Sarah and Tim, Jack and Tori, Eden and Jaden, and Ridge and Jade. Those are the main couples that have stuck together from the show. Obviously, the unofficial couple now is Jono and Ellie. So I thought it was really interesting. But then the next day when we had their meeting with the experts, I thought it was fascinating to see Jono sit down there and still try to gaslight, try to wiggle his way out of it and not be accountable. And then they showed a recap and it's like, yep, you're sitting there lying, talking about, no, it's not a big deal. It's just a few messages. 100% not going to pursue anything with Ellie afterwards. Lies, lies, and more lies. So I was like, at least Lauren can be vindicated. Also from that recap, it was clear to see that those two shouldn't be together, as in Lauren and Jono. They had a bit of turbulence, we know. Although the homestay seemed like it was nice, so I can understand why Lauren was so hurt after being intimate with him to find out he's been texting another bride from the show. But I love that Alexandra asked him, well, are you texting anybody other brides from the show? No, you weren't. You kept making this excuse, why I text people from the show. It only seems like you texted Ellie. Everybody else seems to be male. Because you couldn't identify no other brides that you were texting. So it's highly inappropriate. And he just didn't want to own it. But at the end of the day, everyone can see that he's an idiot. The way he handled it was really, really bad. And the fact that he didn't really take accountability was just pretty shit for Lauren. But I feel like Lauren, she's just taking it on the chin. I feel like she's also learned to grow and to learn that she's quite reactive as well and that she can work on some bits for herself. But the treatment that she got from him, she didn't deserve. Now, Tori and Jack, I thought they were interested on the couch. Jack said that he got the low lights, but I'm like, well, to be fair, this is what we saw of you. They could have maybe added in the bit where you lot went and got your tattoos together or something, a little happy moment in there. But to be fair, like, you gave them the content at the end of the day. Like, you and your mouth, Jack, got you into all these situations. So that was your real. But I felt like for Tori, that should have been a bit of a wake-up call for her, but it wasn't. And even as they were asking her questions, again, she just definitely defends him. She goes into defiant role. And whilst I can understand it's probably hard for her because she feels like every week she's been under attack and then now she's come to the last of it and she gets to see it all together and she's like, right, I've had enough. But this is her choice and this is the bed that she's chosen to lay in. So they did get definitely it was a low light edit, but that was based on the content that was given, I would say. It could have maybe wiggled in maybe one happy moment, but they didn't. But I think Jack said all the, he knows that he's too reactive and he shouldn't speak so quickly, think before he speaks, whatever. Tori was just not here for it. She was just, she was not interested. She defended Jack and was like, you know what, I want to leave. And they end up getting up and walking out. I was like, oh, okay then. That was the end of them. But they are still together. And apparently, I think she might have moved down to where he is now. So they are together. So if they're happy, great for them. Good luck to them. Jaden and Eden. Now, of course, those were a cute couple. They came on the couch gushing about each other, saying that they were, loving on each other and can see a future with each other. But fast forward to today, they are no longer together, which was sad to hear. They have broken up. And it was because of Jaden. Jaden called it off. This is what Eden has shared, that, he said that he didn't choose her, which I thought was quite sad. There was also some rumour about the bracelet that he got her, him messaging her saying, let's return the bracelet and go halves. But apparently he was joking. So I don't know if he was joking or not, but I was disappointed to hear that those two had broken up because I did have kind of high hopes for the two of them. But I hope, you never know, they might reconcile. You never know, because I felt like they had a nice connection. But if not, I hope they find happiness separately. But that was a bit of disappointment because I was like, I thought those two might have hanged on towards the end. I couldn't believe that Tori and Jack have outlasted Jaden and Eden. I never would have thought that, but, I'm in disbelief, but it's happened, okay? Jaden Ridge, I didn't see them get an edit this time round because I was like, where was their recap and did I miss it? Is it just me, people? Because I'm watching the show, I'm like, the experts have spoken to Sarah and Tim. They spoke to, which we'll get on to in a minute, they spoke to Lauren and Jono. They spoke to Tori and Jack and Eden and Jaden and Lucinda and Tim, actually, which we'll touch on in a minute. But Jade and Ridge, I didn't see a recap for them, which I was disappointed in because actually those two are still together as well. So, I believe I don't know if he's moved down there yet, but I know that they are still together. So, which is really sweet. And I think they're a really nice couple. They look cute together and, I would wish them well. Now, so Sarah and Tim, whilst on the show, it shows them being together. In reality, they are not together anymore. And I'm not that surprised. I mean, even watching the recap, seeing the betrayal, I wasn't that surprised to hear that Tim and Sarah, are not together anymore. He actually has a new girlfriend. She looks really cute. So, yeah, he's definitely moved on. But what made me laugh with that whole situation was Cassandra. Cassandra cracks me up because she just told Sarah straight, you're a liar. You're a liar and you're not a nice person. I was like, oh, Cassandra came to not play, basically, okay? So even the judges were like, oh, Cassandra, what is it? He goes, well, she's just fake. She's fake and she's a liar. And she's just not a genuine person, basically. So I was like, okay, and I get that because she does come across kind of phony, to be fair. So I was like, well, Cassandra said what she's got to say. And then I think even Michael picked up and said, well, yeah, well, it's true. And then, she's shouting across, oh, shut up, Michael. And he's like, well, I thought she was all right at first, but actually she's a bit of a shit person. So I was like, oh. And then you've got Ellie obviously also piping up because obviously the day before those two were going at it, but we didn't get to see it because of the edit. I don't know why I didn't show that. So obviously on the couch, they were talking about they're still together and they're going strong, but in reality, they are now done and over. So who knows if she's dealt back to her ex or, she's working things out or she's moved on. I'm not sure. I haven't seen anything on that, but I have seen that Tim has a new lady. Now, Lucinda and Timothy, they are, Lucinda, I just think she's my fave of the season. Like, she's just a sweet soul. And I feel like everybody needs a bit of a Lucinda in their life because she just seems like such a genuine person. And, it's a rarity to see these kind of people like that on TV. So it's been lovely seeing her. And it's also lovely to see Tim acknowledge that, if it weren't for Lucinda, he wouldn't have grown so much. Like, I feel like they have a lovely connection. They still have a lot of love for each other. She's very loving. She's still loving on Tim, but they are still friends at the moment. So they speak quite often. And watching their recap was interesting. I felt like they gave it a decent recap because actually there was a lot of tension that they could have showed. So I think that they kept that balance. Not so much the case for Tori and Jack, but I feel like there was more, there's more positives that we saw for Lucinda and Timothy. But I thought it was interesting because obviously Timothy having to watch himself go through this sort of emotional growth period that he experienced on the show was a lot for him to kind of watch again. And you can see Lucinda was like really supportive of him. But I do agree with what the expert said in terms of him really growing through he says now that he's a bit more in touch with his emotions, and he kind of goes to Lucinda for a bit of emotional support, which I thought was quite nice. But yeah, I feel like Tim has had a bit of a growth spurt on the show, which is good to see, because at the start I was like, okay, look, seems all right. But then when he was going at Lucinda, I was like, hell to the no. No. Lucinda deserved a lot better. So I do hope, Lucinda does find her happiness. I think they're both single but still friends. So I hope that she does find somebody that's more on her vibe. And that he also finds someone too. But yeah, I thought it was a really good season, to be fair. A lot of chaos. I mean, the audacity of Ellie is just unbelievable. Tori remained in her delusional box and she's still got her man. So, she's happy over there, even though everything that, they showed in terms of the recap was pretty awful. Yeah, she's still there and they're still going strong, apparently. So what did you think of the show, guys? Will you miss it? What are your thoughts on the whole Ellie and Jono situation, the fact that they're still together? Oh, update on that, actually. Apparently, Ellie was complaining that she was getting trolled a lot of hate was coming her way and harassment because of the way she behaved on the show, obviously. And it went as far as trolls, apparently, hitting up her workplace. She works for a plastic surgery clinic, and they were going on there, leaving crappy reviews. And apparently they were calling up to find out when she's in. I was like, they probably just want to confront her and pull her hair. Who knows? But Lauren put out a tweet apparently to say, look, guys, like, back off. Like, don't contact her at work. Leave her alone. Like, let Ellie and Jono be happy. Like, she's moved on. Like, it happened months ago. So she's kind of over it now. But I guess everyone was kind of shocked and in dismay and disgust, like we are over here, who are just catching up on it. So I'm not surprised that happened, because if those two were thinking they were going to get some happy couple endorsements, I don't think they went about it the right way, because they didn't handle it very well at all. We've seen other couples, get together and recouple in their own way. But I feel like this was the worst I've seen it managed in terms of someone's feelings and just being human. I feel like they were absolutely disgusted the way they handled it. I don't know if that's also just because of the edit, but we did hear Lauren say that Ellie ignored her and that they ignored her when they walked in. So that, to me, that part's true. So the other edits that they're talking about, I don't know. But we can only go off what we saw. And they obviously, we can piece in some bits from what we hear from interviews, but I still look at them with a side eye. And I think they're full of shit for the way they handle that. But wishing them luck in the future with their relationship. I feel like they both, suit each other. The fact that he cannot keep a secret should be a warning to Ellie. But, that's fine. She was happy to ignore Ben's red flags for the longest time. So I'm sure she'll be ignoring Jono's for as long as necessary, because, I feel like she desperately wants to be in a relationship and have kids. So good luck to them all. But it was good to see some of the other cast members. I must say, I forgot about a few of them. I was like, oh my God, yeah, Collins, I forgot about you. Oh, Natalie, I forgot about you. At the dinner, I saw Ash. I was like, oh yeah, Ash, what happened to, is it Madeline? The one that he was paired with, because she didn't turn up. We saw Michael and Stephen as well. So it was good to see some of the old faces return, and Andrew and Richard. And Cassandra and Tristan, of course, because I think they're so sweet. And I think it's really nice that a lot of them have really good relationships, like Tristan and Cassandra, and some of the other guys were saying that they keep in contact. So I thought that was really good to see. Now, of course, I had to go and check social media to see what people were saying. And these are some of the tweets that definitely had me nodding as well as cracking up. Now, did you spot your tweet in there? What did you think? You've seen what social media have to say. So what do you think? Did you enjoy the season? Do you think that it was edited a lot, or do you believe what Ellie and Jono are saying in these interviews? What do you think about the fact that Tori and Jack made it to the end? Because I was in utter shock and dismay. I'm like, you know what? Was there certain things that they didn't show to us? Because I saw Delulu Tori, but I'm like, was there more to this picture? You know, did we just get like a skewed edit of these two? What is it? I'm still in dismay. But anyway, good luck to them all. And what are your thoughts, people? Let me know your thoughts below. Yes, so thanks for watching that. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, and hit that notification bell so you know when I am uploading some more of people's business. So until then, my nosy people, stay blessed.